Accucare Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine in Brick, New Jersey offers a state-of-the-art facility with all the best and current treatments. With athletic trainers, massage therapists, and doctors of physical therapy, Accucare has everything you need to stay healthy and perform at the highest level. Cupping, stretching, laser therapy, compression boots, and a full body cryo chamber are just some of what you can expect at Accucare. Check out their website and social media links in my bio. No prescription is needed to see them. So call them today and start feeling and performing at your best. Again, thank you to Accucare for sponsoring the Shore Football Report. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Accucare High School Football Preview Show, Monmouth County Edition, presented by the Shore Football Report. And tonight we are going to talk Freehold Boro Colonials with 12th season head football coach, Coach Dave Ellis. Coach, thanks for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome, man. Awesome. A lot of great things to talk about in your program. But before we go on, I want to brag about my program, the Shore Football Report. Two big news that happened in the offseason that I'm now associated with our sponsor, the Accucare in Brick, physical therapy and sports medicine. And you know as well as I do, it's important to keep your athletes healthy and being able to play football on Friday and Saturdays, right, Coach?
Absolutely.
Yes. So she's awesome. She's going to give back to a lot of the programs. We have a friend of the programs in her, and state of the art equipment they have, Coach. I don't know what you have there, but back in the day, I used to jump in the tubs with the ice, and the ice would fall out and all that stuff. They have those chambers that you get in there and you just see somebody's head, and it freezes your whole body. Incredible. The technology they have right now, but the tweaks of these kids' bodies. She does stuff for rehabilitation. She does things for strengthening their bodies and educating them. And that's great that we have somebody like that on our side. Really is. So awesome. The other thing was, I think you've seen it at the media day today if you went, but I don't think you were there. Scott Stump is back, and he's with us, the Shore Football Report. So we got a big-time sports writer with me. I do not write, Coach. I only talk. I do not write. You can look at my college resume, and my grades were reflective. I didn't do any writing there either. But here I am with Scott Stump. We're ready to go. And now we're going to talk Freehold Boro Colonial football today, Coach. You ready?
I'm ready to go. Yeah, Scott Stump's a great guy.
Coach, interesting now. The process of becoming a head football coach. These kids today kind of don't realize that we have to work to get where we want. We don't just press a button and all of a sudden we're a head coach somewhere. I want you to explain to us the process on how you became a head coach. You played ball at Lakewood, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. From there, tell me the process on how you became the head coach at Freehold Boro.
Well, when I graduated University of Maine, I went to a job fair, hooked up with Marlboro, and they said they were hiring a few PE teachers and some football coaches, so took that job. Bill Bruno was was the AD at the time.
Good guy.
Good friend of Lenny Rivers, who was my head coach, and so went to Marlboro for 2 years, and then I just kind of wanted to change, so I decided to go to Freehold Boro blindly. And then I was very fortunate to meet up with Mark Ciccatelli at Freehold, and was able to sit and watch him build the program from the ground up. and that was critical. That's what I wanted. I wanted to be mentored by a seasoned coach, and by accident, I guess you could say, I was able to do that. We were able to win 2 state championships and
Yeah.
just really bring the program from 2-8, 3-7 to a very respectable program. And then, after our second championship, he decided to move on to Neptune, and just didn't feel like it was the right fit for me to go over to Neptune.
Mm-hmm.
I want to stay at Freehold, but I kind of wanted things to stay the same or similar to what we had done. So, that's when I decided that, I'm going to put in for that coaching job. And, they gave me a chance, and we just been trying to do the best we can since then.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Did you think you were going to be a head coach coming out of college? That quick?
I thought at times like I might want to be a head coach, but Coach Chick would tell me all the time, like, you don't want to be a head coach. He would tell me all the time, and he would say to me, something would happen, he'd look at me, say, you sure you want to be a head coach? And,
Right. Yeah.
And I really wasn't aspiring to be one. I just wanted to be the best football coach I could be. And when he made me the defense coordinator, still I was like, I'm not ready. I don't really feel comfortable. He's like, listen, I'll help you. And I feel like the head coach is the same thing. It was just a learning. It was like learning on the fly, and it was rough for a couple years, but I just like giving back. There's coaches that sacrificed a lot so I could be successful, and help develop me. And we just feel like we try to give back to the kids now.
You played for a long time and legendary Lenny Rivers.
Yes.
I remember him back in the day. He took care of me when he was around here. Is there anything that you took from him that you take now with coaching now? Because Lenny was a great role model.
It was a great role model. Lenny was big on adversity. I didn't really look at it the way that he did. And he always would tell us, there's an adverse situation. What are you going to do, and how you handle adversity, and always wanted us to prepare ourselves to be better, to go to college, to do our work, whatever it was. He always spoke to us on that, and the importance of teamwork and family. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure I was very fortunate to have Lenny Rivers be my head coach. Didn't know him going in, didn't necessarily choose him. It worked out, and I couldn't be happier. I didn't know. I honestly didn't know in high school how much of a legend he was. Now, when I say his name, like almost everybody knows him in the state. But at the time, I was just like, this is my head coach.
Yeah.
And then I started hearing all the stories about Franklin and this and that. And you would never know, though, because he's so humble. That's the great part about Lenny Rivers.
Very humble, very giving. Will always sit there and talk to you about his experiences. That's how he was with me.
Yep.
When I was around him, I was writing notes, like writing stuff down and all that. And he goes, and he would go, did I ever tell you? Yeah, I got on page 2. I got all this stuff. But Coach, guys like that, man, you got to absorb, because they're going to help you later in life. Those type of guys.
Absolutely. And he actually coached with me for a couple of years.
Did he really?
But his health has deteriorated a little bit.
Yeah.
He had hip surgery, but when he was coaching me for a couple of years, it was great. I mean, it was no better person to have to bounce stuff off as a new head coach. To have a guy like him with all that experience.
Yeah, and he is a positive guy with the kids, and also with the the coaches. He always was, and all that. Good.
Yep.
So, Coach, do you ever pinch yourself and say, "Wow, I'm the head football coach"? Coaching high school right now. I mean, you've been there 12 years. You coached some pretty good players. Shanti Worthy, we all know about. What a great run you had with him. I love the unique offense that you run. It is unique. It's something different that nobody else runs in the Shore. And of course, your attacking style of your 3-3-5 defense or 3-5-3 defense, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
This is something that you've kept from the days when Ciccatelli was there, right? Except he didn't run the empty offense like you did.
Yeah, he runs a version of the empty offense. Like he'll bring his running back into the backfield a lot, and the whole Ashanti thing was really birthed because we didn't have a running back. He was our running back, and he was also our quarterback. And we kind of figured if we could blend those two positions, then we can have something. And that year we literally did it. We were putting a kid in to play running back that really wasn't a running. He was like my middle linebacker, and we were just like, why don't we just put another receiver in the game? At least we'll have to defend him. And that happened, and it's just a matter of, you look at what you have and you look at what you need. And the year before we were pretty bad on all. The week before that, I think we had negative 17 yards offense against Neptune.
Mm-hmm.
We were just stuck in the mud, and we were like, we got to do something. And what better way to start with the ball in his hands?
Having your best player hand the ball off to somebody who's not better than you is not a good situation.
Correct. That's exactly what we were thinking. So, and now we've kind of, now we have a lot of similar parts of the
Yeah.
offense, and again, we try to play to our strength. We're not a team that normally gets big, huge offensive linemen, and we could push people around. So we just try to, move the ball the way we think is best.
I love what you do. You run inside zone, outside zone. I mean, and you hit it hard with the bubble screens, passes, with that. But your defense too, with your 3-3, coming after you, attacking. Exciting football to watch. It really is. So great story on your process, Coach. Are you ready to talk Freehold Boro football?
Absolutely.
Let's do it. All right, Coach, I'm going to whip that thing off. No more COVID, no more mask, no more pods. Those words there, give us the shivers and all that. But, the world was in a disarray for 2 years. Us coaches, we would talk to each other and say, "What? I can't believe we're doing what we're doing," but, we kind of move forward. But the kids, the senior class, did not get a chance to have a normal offseason workout. And the last time was after their freshman football season. So they didn't have a bunch of players before them through the years teaching them the ropes. Now you've here 12 years. You had it going. I mean, you had a great run, what you're doing. And now you had to reteach your whole program, your off season. You had to reteach it because these guys didn't know what it was like to go through it because they didn't do it. So tell us right now, what does a Freehold Boro off season, normal off season look like under your direction?
Yeah, well, we normally, we try to lift like 3 days a week, right after school, depending on the days, when we can get in there. But, listen, at the end of the day, everything's geared at improving our players, so everything we do, we don't sit in there and waste time. We don't, beat around the bush. We just get right to it. And I always tell my guys I want, quality, quality time, quality reps. And, if we're not getting better, we're getting worse. So the year before, last year, we thought we had a really good team. And we at the regional district were not able to meet with our players or lift until June 25th.
Sure.
So we, again, I guess if you have a private trainer or other things, and you might be okay, but a lot of my guys weren't lifting. But I thought, because we're taught to be positive and just see past things, and I thought, I was like, you know what, we're pretty talented. Had a lot of kids back, Ahoyski, Calhoun, Gill, and I'm like, we have the old line. I'm like, we're going to make a run. And I realized this year that how much the weight room is important to what we do and just to everybody, and I saw a tremendous amount of injuries, things of that sort. And it just didn't matter that we were talented or had some success the year before in those spots. Losing that off season, it really took me back to, I mean, I knew it was important, but I tried to see past it, but we just couldn't get past. I'm not making excuses. I'm just being honest, but we just couldn't really get past it last year.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Weight training and preventing injuries too was
Correct.
something, you experienced. Unfortunately, when it happens during the season, you knew what the answer was. He's like, you couldn't do nothing. It was like a domino effect.
Yeah.
And injuries get contagious, Coach.
I know all about it. Yep.
Yeah.
We had our fair share last year, and it's a shame because Coach Tyson, who runs our weight room, does a tremendous job. It's just, even this year being back in there was so nice just to see the energy, and the kids in there working out, and again, you're building bonds. They're trusting each other. There's more than just weights. There's a lot of good stuff that's going on in there, and when you can't pull all that out, and it's all of a sudden you get on the football field and it's like, all right, let's go play football now. It's difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, good. Now, Coach, do you believe in 7-on-7s? Do you guys do 7-on-7s?
I have mixed feelings about them. I like to see the guys compete, but on the other end, it's unrealistic. You know that you can't pressure. You see a lot of two lock, which I don't know anybody that runs two lock that often, or really more than 3 times a game. So,
Right.
So then you have to, put two lock beaters in.
Yeah.
And so I used to be a 7-on-7 guy. I'm starting to navigate towards, I don't mind doing one just to work on our stuff because we do throw the ball a lot, but I don't know. It just, It has its pros and cons, I guess you could say.
I love when you watch and all of a sudden teams that normally aren't, they're 20 personnel, they're in 5 wides in the 7-on-7, and they're
Yes.
running all these routes. You run those type of things, but other people slide a running back right up the hole on cover two, and he's
Yep. It's
four.
unrealistic. I
I,
had a coach at Rutgers flip out because we were an empty. It was so funny. It was like Ashanti's year. Oh, they're an empty every play. They're never. And I was like, all right, check my films. I mean, I'm an empty. You know,
yeah,
that's what we do.
yeah,
But again, you want to, if you ever, you got to kind of play to your. If you want to try to win the 7-on-7, you're going to have to put some receivers out there. But it's hard. It's good for the competition wise. You get to see your quarterbacks react under pressure and your receivers and things that sort of defense compete. It's good for that for sure. But it's hard because if you do stuff that you don't normally do, you're taking time away
yes,
from
yes,
your package.
yes, yes. So, coach, a normal off season is making sure the weight room's a priority if they're not playing any sports, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Coach, let's hear your coaching staff.
All right, coaching staff. We have Tyson, who's our quarterback coach, offense coordinator, and our defensive back coach. We have Coach D'Antonio, who's our wide receivers coach, and our hybrid guys, our outside linebackers guys, our coach. And then we have Jeremy Mercer, who's our O-line slash linebackers coach. Then we have Zach Cooper, O-line, D-line. Then we have Joe Lafrelita, who's going to be the head freshman coach. We have Matt Maleo, who's going to be assistant freshman coach. We have, how many is that?
6. Yeah.
5 or 6?
Yeah, I think it was 6 that you had.
All right, we got Merce, Tice, D. All right, yeah, then we have John Kinzel, O-line, D-line. Matt Whalen, who is wide receiver DBs. And I think that's it.
Now, Tyson, was that the quarterback from those years?
That's our state championship quarterback, 2008, yeah.
He had a pretty good career, would you say?
He did. He had a great career. He's a great, listen, he's a great football coach. He's a great person. He really does a nice job with these kids. They respect him. They love him. He's demanding, but he knows when to push. He knows when to pull him in. He's going to be. I mean, he'll be a head coach one day. He'll be a great head coach.
It's exciting. It's exciting to bring back an alumni like himself into your program. Been there, done it. Successful on and off the field. A good role model type guy, right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. He is. He's played. He played in the blue and gold, and he was in that locker room. He played on that field, so he has a little bit more of a influence on the kids because it's not just, oh well, I played high school football. It's like I played high school football right here, right in this town. He knows a lot of people in the town still, which is good. So keeps in touch. So no, he's been a great addition for us.
Coach, to the left is your Freehold Boro football schedule. And then on the right is your Constitution Division, which basically is your Freehold School District conference, except Manalapan's not there. Interesting.
Yes.
Yes. Go ahead, Coach. Take me to your schedule. What do you think about it?
Well, I think we have a pretty tough schedule, but at the end of the day, we want to be one of the better teams. So in order to be a better team, you have to play, a good level of competition. RBC is probably going to be, in my opinion, 1 or 2 in the Shore. They were number 1 in the Shore last year.
Mm-hmm.
Colts Neck, they're doing a tremendous job over there. Same thing. I think they're going to be a top team. Marlboro's had a really nice year last year. They have a lot of kids back. Jackson, we played down to the wire last year at their place. So that's going to be, they're always tough. Since I played, they were tough. Manalapan, Dom does a great job. They just reload every year. Freehold Township, Coach Davies presents those problems with the spread offense. And, that's always a rivalry game. So that's always tough. And then, Rumson, again, another team, I think they're going to be top 5 in the Shore, maybe top 2, top 3. We've played them twice, and they're tough. They are really tough. And then we got Howell, who again we played last year. We're in a tight game. Bill Hill's doing a nice job over there, so it's going to be interesting. I don't really know how it's going to go,
Yeah.
but that's what we got.
Coach, I don't want to talk about your non-conference division games. I don't want to talk about because they are. I would have to say that you might have the toughest non-division game schedule out there. Would you agree or disagree? Red Bank Catholic, Manalapan, and Rumson all going to be in the top 10. I could kind of probably
Yes.
predict that. So yeah, I would put you up as one of the toughest or the toughest non-division there. But let's talk about your division. Constitution, you're familiar with everybody.
Hmm.
Everybody in the same school district, same board of education, except Jackson. Parity is the word. I think a lot of those teams are all close. I think a lot of your games are going to be close, and it may come down to 3-4 plays, which is a coaching statement you all say all the time. Would you agree? Instead of talking about anybody individual, there's a lot of closeness to every program, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think really what it comes down to is there's some teams on that schedule that the margin of error is smaller than other teams.
Mm-hmm.
Some teams on there, I mean, if we're being honest, like you really can't afford to turn the ball over or do any of that. You know, but again, our goal is to overachieve. And there's like I said, we're probably not going to be in the top 10, which is rightfully so. So we have to find a way to maybe make a name for ourselves this year. But if we're going to do that, it's going to be working hard, being disciplined, being tough, just taking care of controlling the controllables. And
Mm-hmm.
like you said, it's going to come down to a few plays, and if it's not instituted right now in practice, then we probably have no chance again. We probably don't have a chance against a lot of these teams on that schedule.
Yeah. Well, I think the advantage you have is that you can't copy and paste your game plan if when you're playing Freehold Boro. You run a unique offense. To me, a 3-3 stack, the way you run it, is another thing you have to prepare for. So that's an advantage to you. And I think that's why you put that in place too. You want it to be different, right?
Yeah, we always have to find a way. That's all. If there was something we thought when we sat down that was going to give us a better chance of moving the football on offense or a better chance of stopping people on defense, we would put it in or we would incorporate it. And with the kids we get more of the hybrid type of kids.
Mm-hmm.
We feel that what we're doing right now puts us in the best position to win. And that's what we do.
Coach, tell us what you run offensively and defensively.
Offensively, we are spread offense, and defensively, we're in the 3-3 stack.
Nice, nice. And my question to you is, how long have you been running this spread stuff? Was it back? I guess it was with Ashanti. So what was that,
Yeah,
6 years?
I'm sorry, we've always been in at least four wide. Since I've been the head coach, and even when Chick was there, we were in empty, and we would bring somebody back or have somebody in the hip. So I've pretty much been spread ever since I've been at Freehold since 2004. And then stack, I think we put it in 2006 or 7. We just kind of carried that on.
I got in shock when I heard last year you started incorporating a running back. I went, what? What do you mean? What do you mean? What? Like I'm so used to you, the quarterback's the runner. Whoever's going to be the quarterback, he's going to be able to run the football and facilitate. But then you started putting a running back in there, so you want to put your personnel in that's best for your program, and that's that.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we had a good running back. Yasin was a very good running back last year. So, we had to hand him the ball. We couldn't just throw him the ball. He was a kid that could get it done between the tackles as well.
Coach, this is the section I really like. It's about top position groups for each team. And I did my research on everybody, and I want to talk about your team, your offense, defense, and special teams strength coming just from me. And I could be wrong. I'm usually wrong once every 3 years, but we'll find out, Coach, right now what I think. But I don't think I'm that dumb. I know you have good linemen. I know you do. You got good linemen. I love Carter. I love Russo. But I think the strength is your quarterback receivers because you do so much with them. I love Spencer Rushton. I heard a lot about him. I know he's moving into that quarterback role, and anybody you put there is one of your better athletes, hands down. A junior. Your wide receiver, Jordan Hamlin Wolfolk, a 6'3" wide receiver, and his brother is 6'4" and a sophomore, Aiden. Right? Those two.
Correct. Yep.
Mike Bickerton, a junior, Matt Gafrida, a junior, all receivers, Ashir Smith, a senior. And I want to add this guy because I think he's going to be an empty a couple times. Cameron Cromes, your running back, is a very dynamic football player. Was I kind of close to this being your
Yeah.
strength?
Yep.
What do you think about that group?
No, I think each one of them brings a different thing to the table, and we have some experience in there. With Rushton had a couple starts last year, and Crooms played a good amount last year. Um, Bickerton saw some time, so guys saw the field a little bit here and there, but now they're going to have to step up to a full-time role. So we're excited to see the transition.
You definitely have some pieces there, though. You definitely do.
Correct. Yep.
Now your defense, I think your DBs are your strength of your team in your 3-3-5 defense or three. I like Spencer Rushton at safety. Jordan is a big, tall corner at 6'3", probably the tallest corner out there in the shore. Very athletic, very athletic. Mike Bickerton, the junior safety, and also Azir Smith at cornerback. I think that's your strength of your defense, right?
Yeah, those guys. Yeah, Jordan. It's just rare to have a kid 6'3" that can move and flip their hips like a corner needs to. So he works his butt off, man. Jordan works really hard. He's a nice kid. He's actually taken on a leadership role too, and it's been a pleasure, to coach those guys.
Good. And special teams wise, I know you have returners, but I think that your long snapper, Alex D'Antonio, a senior, is a jack of all trades. He does everything. I mean,
Yes.
He's one of those guys probably under the radar and all that, but I think Alex D'Antonio with his long snapping is your strength because he's so consistent on what he does.
Yeah, it's one of those positions that's easily forgotten about, and unless they don't snap it well.
Yeah,
of course. But no, he does a good job getting the ball back there and gives us a chance to make the kick.
Yeah, nobody knows who the long snapper is until he sails one 20 yards over the punter's head. Then everybody knows him, right? But
Correct.
He's a good one. Very consistent in the special teams. I think that's fair. It was fair, those three groups, right?
Yep.
We threw out a lot of names out there, but there are some other names that you might want to talk about. Your top returning players, underclassmen coming in, newcomers, the whole 9 yards. But I know that the offensive line is very important to you because you have a couple key dudes there. So let's just hear a couple names out there that you got excited for the year.
Yeah, we have Jemai Goodman, Malachi Cancel, John Russo, Carter Stokes, Jordan Spitzer, Zasir, another kid Zasir that'll be mixed in. We're kind of figuring it out. We don't start till we haven't started practice yet, so we know some things from the weight room, but I can tell you that all those guys have worked really hard, and we may not be the biggest O-line, but they work hard. They work hard. They listen, and some of them got thrown in the fire last year, which was really unfair as sophomores, especially without having off season of lifting. They were pretty much like freshmen physically, and so now they've been able to train, and they know what varsity football is about. So we're hoping that that unit definitely improves this year.
What are your numbers like? I didn't ask you this yet, but what are your numbers like for your varsity?
Because varsity JV, we put them together. We're probably at like 45, which is a normal number for us.
Normal number.
Really, the real eyebrow raiser is the freshmen. We have like 37 freshmen signed up. Which,
are you kidding me?
We haven't had that many signed up in 10 years or more. I don't even know. So, and it's a good class, good group of kids. So we're excited about that.
That's one of the highest ones in the shore.
Yep.
Darn right. I'm sure you're going to find some players in that those numbers.
Yeah, no, there's some good players in there. They have a good mixture. They have some linemen, some quarterbacks, receivers. So, as a head coach, it's always nice when you get in a good freshman class, especially with numbers. We only had like 15 last year. So to back it up with a class of like 35, 37, it just makes you feel a little more at ease.
Well, Coach, when I talked to you guys on the phone, building up for this show, I could tell that somebody has something that they're excited about. And I know you're excited about not only the future, but today. You have some key kids ready to shine in your program that you believe in. And those numbers are 37. That's a good number because I'm hearing everybody else is in the 20s right now.
Yes.
So 37, good for you. Good for you. Well, pleasure talking to you, Coach. Thank you for taking your busy schedule. You got football season starts with the state on tomorrow. and wishing you guys the very best. And myself or Scott Stump will be on your sidelines on a couple games. I can guarantee you that. So if you guys need anything, you know where we're at. This will be up as soon as I, get everything published and get it going, and it should be up within the next day.
All right, sounds great.
All right. I want to
Thanks,
thank you
Rob.
very much. All right, now we're talking to Freehold Boroughs, 3 outstanding football players, but better yet, better people off the field, because that's what I want. And I know Coach Ellis is a big believer in that too. And I want to thank you for coming on the show. Let me introduce you, and then let's get right into it, okay? All right. 3 seniors we got. So to the left, we have outstanding wide receiver cornerback Jordan Wolfolk. Jordan, thanks.
Yep.
To the right, we have the outstanding wide receiver, inside linebacker, senior, and long snapper, Alex D'Antonio. And that's important. Trust me, right? Nobody knows who the long snapper is until you have one sail 20 yards over a guy's head, right? But those are the unsung heroes. We'll talk about that later. And then down the bottom, last but not least, the big time running back, outside linebacker, Cam Cromes. Thanks, guys, for coming on the show. You guys ready for 5 questions?
Yes, Coach.
Are you ready?
Yep.
The Short Football Report knows everything about you guys except these 5 questions. When I get these 5 questions, I'm going to work with my team and say, I know everything about you guys, right? You ready? I know you're good football players. I know you're good people off the field too. But these 5 questions, you're going to help me out. You hear?
Yes, Coach.
Okay, you ready? Yep. First question. Who's the funniest dude in the program? I want to know who's the funniest dude in the program. We're going to start with Cam. You?
Me.
Who's me?
Jordan.
All right, Jordan, tell me why you're funny.
I'm a funny guy, man. I walk in the party I'm lit.
So you keep it real? You got Coach Ellis smiling and Coach D'Antonio smiling? Yeah. Oh, really?
And Coach Tyson.
And Coach Tyson. Oh, yeah? I heard Coach Tyson likes to joke once in a while too, right?
Yep.
Coach Tyson, that's my guy.
Good. Alex, would you agree? Or is there somebody else out there that's pretty funny?
No, it's definitely Jordan. It just lights up. It just lights up the field all the time. Great
Really?
player, great person, just hysterical.
I think Cam's going to give me another name. I have a feeling he's got another name. Cam, give me one. No?
I got Jordan.
Jordan's the dude.
Yes, yeah.
So if I ask Coach Ellis, he'll say it's Jordan.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, that's cool. So when you're doing your away games and you're riding on a bus, you're going to keep it real on the bus.
I'm going to keep it real on the bus. For real. I'm gonna hype my team up. We're going to get our last one, but when it's game time, locked in. We're going to be locked in.
Are you one of those players? When I was a coach, I would look back and I'll hear somebody jawing and making people laugh. Go, who is that guy? Is that Jordan? Yeah? All right, good. Number 2, who's the leader of the team? Who sends out messages in group chats or whatever you call them, tickety talk, whatever you call them? Who sends out the messages from the coaches, what they want you guys to know about? What player does it?
I mean, all three of us, honestly, but it's mostly Alex though. Alex.
Yeah.
Alex.
Yeah. I'll make sure everybody's on time. Make sure everyone gets all the information that they need,
right,
in order to just succeed in practice and just to be on time.
Cam, is there any truth to it? Is Alex the guy that kind of gives you all the info?
Yeah, Alex, he sent out all the information.
Does he give out a lot of info? Is it always like notifications? Oh, I forgot this, I forgot that. Are you pretty thorough?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. That's important. That makes things a lot easier for coaches. Number 3, back to normal, guys. No more COVID. I know you guys look better with mask on, but we don't have to wear a mask anymore, all right? You're now back to normal in the weight room. You're back to normal with your football team. Tell me, Cam, how great was it to be back to normal doing what you love doing?
It felt good just to be able to walk into school without having a mask,
right,
or be able to laugh with my players, be able to sit next to them on the bench without having to be 6 feet, and just feel good to be back.
Good to be back, Alex.
It definitely feels great to be back. Being in the weight room and just having the music playing and just being near each other and just having good energy all around is just amazing to be back with everybody.
Yeah, Jordan, You need a crowd because you're pretty funny. So you like.
Yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie. When we was in COVID, like it was boring. I couldn't see none of my friends, like none of my teammates at the time. So it's like, man, what am I gonna do? Like I just sat in the house just working out. Like ain't nothing else to do. So,
You didn't have an audience with all your jokes, right? I bet you do Instagram Live a lot too, right?
Yup.
Yeah.
I might have to look at one of his comedian acts that he does. Good. All right, number 4. I know what the expectations are. I talked to a couple of your coaches. Last, I just talked to Coach Ellis, but I want to know what the expectations are. You guys, what do you guys expect this year from your football team, starting with Jordan?
I mean, this year for me, I expect to help out my offense and help my defense. Be a team leader, make sure like everybody's amped up. Like we're not trying to have like no rushing yards, no receiving yards on us. Like we trying to stay locked in. Like I believe our team could really make it. Like
Alex?
Definitely just being a leader, like Jordan said, on offense and defense, making sure everyone's just locked in, just doing what they have to do, doing their job, and just getting through games and practices together.
Yeah, Cam, you no bulletin board stuff right now. All right.
No bulletin board stuff.
Tell me what you guys expectations are this year.
No, I just want us to get better each game, and like have everything down packed and stuff, and just hopefully make it deep into the playoffs and stuff. Do our thing.
Right. Great. Last one we got. I want to know, why is it so special to be playing at Freehold Boro under Coach Ellis? Tell me, why is it so special to be at Freehold Boro under Coach Ellis? Cam?
It's like it's different from other places. Like I hear, like I got people that I know all from different schools around the shore and stuff, and like how they describe their practices, it don't sound like our practices. Like it just our environment, it just seems different from everybody, and he makes it that way. Like he's on top of us, and he wants it a certain way, and you gotta do it a certain way. And if you don't want to do it a certain way, it's like go do it elsewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a straight shooter.
Just the right way.
He is. Jordan, tell me why it's so special to be playing at Freehold Boro.
Playing at Freehold Boro, man, it's so fun. I've been having fun with them since freshman year. Like once freshman year, like we put conditioning, like that conditioning was brutal. Like I knew, so like coming up, like listening to coaches, everything like that really got me better. Because like last year, like I did okay, but like it's not good enough for me. But this year, I'm be better than last year. Like I'm really locked in this. Like I was locked in last year, but this year is different. This is my senior year.
Oh. You dig deep when you're a senior. I guarantee you that. Yeah. Alex, end it right here. Tell me why it's so special to be playing at Freehold Boro.
It's very special for me. Growing up from like 5th grade, coming to all the practices and seeing how the program's just, been amazing throughout the years, and like knowing Coach Ellis and the rest of the coaches. But it definitely feels special playing under Coach Ellis because, he's my linebackers coach, and he expects a lot from me too, playing linebacker. And, he was a great player, played at the next level, and just being able to learn underneath him is amazing at Freehold Boro.
Guys, you guys were awesome today. I appreciate it. I now know everything about you guys with these 5 questions. Let me tell you something about Coach Ellis, that he is a detailed guy and he cares about you guys. He does. He does.
Of course. Yep.
And that's not something I would be echoing out even if I wasn't on this show right now. But he does care about you guys. He's detailed. He's a guy I respect, and he's a guy I would play for. I'll tell you right now. And I definitely would love playing for you guys because I want to hear some of those jokes about what Jordan says. But I'll probably hear it during the season, all right? Because I'm sure he'll be going Instagram Live after the game and tagging the Shore Football Report on there or something like that. All right? You guys be good. All right? Big fan of you guys.
Thanks,
Big fan of you guys. And work hard, and football is right here, guys. All right?
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks for coming on.
Job. Thanks.
Bye.